Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Spencer Talks NASCAR. I'm your host, Spencer Urquhart, ready to get into another one of these things. Y'all can't even talk today. Let me gather my thoughts. This has been a great journey doing this NASCAR podcast with y'all, and can't wait to get into another episode discussing all things Bristol. Going to preview the upcoming Food City 500. Bristol, one of the best tracks on the Cup Series schedule, in my opinion. I'm sure most hardcore NASCAR fans would agree. Nothing like some good short track racing. Bumping at Bristol, high banked, 0.5 mile bull ring. Always fun to watch. Glad to see that this year's spring race is back at the traditional concrete venue. The past 3 years, they've raced on dirt, brought in a bunch of dirt, turned Bristol into a dirt track, which, I respect dirt racing, but for the Cup Series, it wasn't a very good look. I didn't feel like it was a lot of what do you expect with dirt racing? I mean, it's a lot sloppier than regular Cup Series racing on asphalt, or this is concrete. Bristol, one of the concrete tracks. So, yeah, really excited to see what the racing brings to us this Sunday. And let's preview it, y'all. We're going to preview the race, going to go through all the drivers, their career results at the regular Bristol surface. Got the racing reference career stats pulled up here for y'all. And then after we go over that, going to go over our best bets with the odds via DraftKings. And we got some values, though, with other books. We're going to talk the betting stuff later on. We're going to get to the preview first. We're going to do the statistics here because the last few episodes we've been doing the odds for both, but I know not all y'all are into betting, so we're gonna do the cold hard fact statistics here for the preview. Gonna go over each driver in the field. For those that don't have any Cup statistics, we'll look at their Xfinity and truck numbers. See just how they've run at Bristol throughout their careers. And then we'll give context. For example, Ross Chastain's career Bristol numbers are really bad, but a lot of his starts came in inferior equipment. Now he's got strong equipment with Trackhouse Racing. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this thing. Career results, y'all. Bristol, baby. Let's go. Not all these drivers are in the field. For example, Justin Allgaier runs Xfinity and Eric Almirola is retired. So ignore a lot of these names. But a lot of these names are in the field Sunday. So we're going to start it off. We'll go alphabetical order. AJ Allmendinger. Allmendinger going to be in the field this week for Colleague Racing in the 16 car. I don't think he's been in that car since the Daytona 500. So it'll be nice to see the Dinger, who I felt was undeservedly stripped of that full-time seat. And he'll be back in the Cup car this week. A full-time Xfinity guy now, back to being that. He had been an Xfinity guy. He got promoted to the Cup Series, and rightfully so. He was doing well. He won a Cup race last year. It's a sponsorship mumbo jumbo. But anyway, his career Bristol results not too hot, though. Only 2 top 10s in 23 races. Not really known as a short track guy. But it could be someone to keep an eye on. Could sneak in like a top 20 finish. Most sports books don't really offer top 20 bets, so he's not someone I'd recommend betting on. But I mean, he could be a player at times, especially if strategy becomes a factor here. But the key is it's so few cars that usually can stay on the lead lap, and I tend to doubt that he'll be one of those. But you never know. He's a salty veteran. Just not very good career results here, though. He's had a lot of starts, but a lot of those came in not very good equipment on it. Let's be real, colleagues. Cup equipment hadn't been too hot this season. Christopher Bell up next, last week's winner at Phoenix, and he has pretty solid Bristol results. 14.6 average finish, not that great, but I mean, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s is very good. Is on a pole here. Led 331 laps. That is very good. Very good laps led percentage, considering he's only run about 2,500 laps, or less than 2,500 laps, and has led 331 of those. Especially last year, he led a lot of laps in the Bristol Fall race last year. Didn't get the win, still has no wins to his name at the Bristol regular service. Won the dirt race last year. C. Bell, a short track guy, definitely going to be a name to watch this Sunday when it comes to guys that have a shot at the win. Next up is Ryan Blaney. who has started 14 races here at the regular Bristol surface, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s. Not that great, but not bad either. Average finish kind of mad, 19.7. And he has led 493 laps out of 6,034 runs. So I feel like Blaney's okay here. This isn't one of his better tracks, though, so probably won't be among the top 5. Could sneak a top 10, though. Penske's equipment so far hadn't been too hot. He was able to grind out a top 5 last week. He looked exhausted after the race, though. Ryan Blaney's really running well right now. I feel like he's in the prime of his career. He is killing it each and every week. So it wouldn't shock me if he cracks the top 5. Could even maybe get his first Bristol win, but his career results tell me that this isn't one of his better tracks, and so he probably isn't a smart pick to win unless you're just that confident in his recent momentum, which, I mean, it could happen. I'm not telling you not to pick him, but he won't be my pick, though. Alex Bowman, 13 starts, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, career average finish 20.8. He has not led any laps here in his career. This isn't one of Bowman's better tracks. He's won some races before, but none here at Bristol's, and he isn't running well right now. I have a feeling he's going to end up lapped pretty early on. I would not trust Bowman this week. Same goes for Chase Briscoe, although he did run well at Phoenix. I got to say, but Phoenix, that's probably like his best track, and he got the top 10 there, and he ran pretty well at Vegas too. So, I mean, I guess it's possible, but I mean, he hadn't led any laps either. Only 3 cup starts, but no top 10s. Average finish of 18th. That's not horrible. So maybe Briscoe could sneak a top 10 again, but I doubt he'll have the pace to run with the leaders. Chris Buescher up next got I think it was his first career cup win at the 2022 Bristol race. It was either his first or second, I believe, and he runs really well here. I mean, lately, his career average finish, not too great at 19.3, but that's a little deceiving as far as what he's done lately. It's like, what have you done for me lately? And lately, Chris Buescher has been really good here at Bristol on the traditional surface. I believe finished second or third in the fall race last year and won the fall race in 2022, led the most laps. He is a smart pick to win this week. I feel like he's not my pick, but he's definitely going to be among my best bets because he gets slept on a lot of weeks. Chris Buescher, not many people consider him one of the 10 best drivers in the Cup Series, and I didn't have him in my power rankings this week, but thinking about it, I mean, shoot, he made the round of 8 last year. He finished second last week. I feel like even I'm sleeping on Chris Buescher. Wouldn't shock me at all if he won here at Bristol again. RFK really strong here at Bristol the past couple of years. So, yeah, Chris Buescher, definitely a name to watch. Harrison Burton up next. 2 career starts here. Career average finish of 22. Yeah, next on that. No laps led. Harrison Burton. I know he's trying, but he is just not getting the results he has been looking for. And that Wood Brothers number 21, hopefully they can turn things around, or else he's probably looking at a demotion to the Xfinity Series next year. Kyle Busch up next. 34 career Bristol starts, 8 wins. We all know how good Kyle Busch has been at Bristol throughout his career. 14 top 5s, 19 top 10s. So I even had a few more top 10s. I know he's had a few duds here at Bristol, especially recently. What have you done for me lately? Kyle Busch has not done much here lately. Average finish 13.9. That was a lot better up until recently. Recently, he has struggled here at Bristol. So I know he's got a great career resume, 8 wins. I mean, and his brother Kurt had 6. I mean, the freaking Busch brothers own this place. But lately, it hadn't really been Kyle Busch's track. So I would not recommend picking him this week, especially with all the pit crew changes. They had yet another pit crew change on his team this week. It's just the RCR is a mess right now, man. I don't know what's going on over there. It's frustrating. As a Kyle Busch fan, I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't know the way he's been running lately. He's probably going to end up lapped or something. I don't even know if he's going to finish on the lead lap. I just don't have confidence right now, and not necessarily in Kyle himself, but his team. His team has been killing him. So, but look at all these laps led. I mean, over 2,000 laps led. I mean, so it would have shocked me if he runs well, not at all. But his team has got to start doing better by him. William Byron up next, 9 career starts, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s. That's solid, 15.4 career average finish. He's done pretty well here lately. He's been improving at Bristol, and he's a short track guy. I mean, he's won at Martinsville before, but Byron knows how to get it done on short tracks. So I think he's a sleeper pick this week. It kind of reminds me of the Daytona 500. Not many people were talking about William Byron. He goes and sneaks the win, and I mean, it's safe to say he'll be among my best bets this week when we get to that, because Willie B, once again, getting slept on. And I know he didn't do that well at Phoenix last week, but he was running among the leaders until the strategy shuffle. So he's got speed, y'all. Don't sleep on William Byron. He is an elite Cup Series driver. I think a lot of people sleep on him because of Kyle Larson being his teammate, and we all know how great Kyle Larson is, and people give him his due. But Byron, I feel like it's slept on a lot. So keep an eye on Willie B. Would not shock me if he takes the win this Sunday. Ross Chastain up next. I mentioned him earlier, how his 23.3 career average finish, a little deceiving. Although Bristol just in one of his better tracks, only 1 top 10, no top 5s. The odds reflected. He could end up a value from a betting perspective, but his overall career numbers tell me that he's probably not going to be in the mix to win this Sunday. Austin Cindric, another one I'm not picking this week. Only 2 Cup starts, but 26 career average finish, and just he has not run well at tracks outside of road courses and super speedways. Austin Dillon, he's had a few sprinkles of success, a top 5, 3 top 10, 17.7 career average finish, but lately he has struggled mightily. So I don't know if this will be the week he turns it around. Although, I mean, he's had some sprinkles of success. It's just, man, lately he has not run well at all. So I would not expect much out of AD this week. Chase Elliott, 13 career starts, 4 top 5, 7 top 10s in a poll. Pretty solid, 439 laps led. Very strong, 11.9 career average finish. So this could be a week Elliott gets back in the mix. It looked like he was going to have a good run last week at Phoenix and got caught up, him and Byron, in the strategy deal. Couldn't work their way back up front. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Chase has just been kind of mid so far to start this season, but he's got good equipment. I think he could bounce back possibly this week. He hadn't won at Bristol before, but he's run good in the past. So wouldn't completely rule out Chase Elliott. Ty Gibbs, he's been running really well lately. Only 2 starts here. Young driver, but a top 5 last year. Didn't run that well in his first start, but did well here last year. Led laps of 102 laps led. I believe that all came in last year's fall race, and he's been running well to start this year, leading laps the past 2 weeks. So Ty Gibbs, I think, will be among the contenders this week. Todd Gilliland, another young driver that's been doing well. No top 10s, though, at Bristol for his career. No laps led. Pretty decent average finish, though, 17th in 2 starts. So Front Row Motorsports trending up, could be a name to watch to get a solid finish in the middle of the pack. Justin Haley, 3 career starts, nothing much to show for it. Rick Ware Racing, a team that's trying to build toward the future, so don't expect a whole lot from him this season, but maybe in the second half he could get going. We'll see what he can do this week. Hopefully he can start running a little better. Denny Hamlin, one of the top drivers to watch here at Bristol, 33 career starts, 3 wins, 10 top 5s, 17 top 10s, 4 poles, over 1,000 laps led, 13.9 average finish. Yeah, the results speak for themselves. Denny Hamlin, definitely a name to watch. He won last year's fall race, so he's done well here recently. I feel like the betting odds, though, are getting a bit too much for me to want to place wagers on him. But, I mean, for those that don't like to bet and just want to pick who they feel is going to win, I mean, Hamlin would be a pretty solid pick to win. I believe he's now the betting favorite. Daniel Hemrick, 2 career Cup starts, not much to show. 21, 21st, that's not terrible, though, for an average finish. Eric Jones up next. He's someone I like this week. He's got strong results here. A lot of this, though, came when he was at Joe Gibbs Racing. 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 11 starts, 14.3 average finish. Hadn't done a whole lot with Legacy Motor Club, but he'll be back in a Toyota this season for the first time since he was with JGR. So this could be a turning point for Eric Jones. Bristol, one of his better tracks. So I think he will finish on the lead lap this week, and he'll be among my best bets. I'll have more on that in the next segment. Brad Keselowski, 25 career starts, 3 wins, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Average finish, only 16.3, but the results are there, over 1,000 laps led. You know, it's kind of like Kyle Busch. He's probably had a few stinkers mixed in, but when he's up front, he runs really well, and he's run well here recently. I mentioned earlier how well RFK has run here. Brad Keselowski's winless streak, I believe, is now over 100 races long, but he's got 3 career wins here, so this might be the week he snaps that dry spell. All right, we have to go through these next ones here real quick. Corey LaJoie, wow, 11 starts. Didn't realize Corey LaJoie had that many starts. A lot of it probably came with bad teams, as evidenced by his terrible career average finish, but that's a little deceiving. I think he could do pretty well. I think he led laps here last year. His 48 career laps led. I think most of those came last year. Now that he's in better equipment, look for Corey LaJoie to push for a top 20. Kyle Larson up next year has a win here, 5 top 5s, 10 top 10s. That's funny. 1 win, 5 top 5s, 10 top 10s. The number is very round for Kyle Larson. In 1 pole. 12.1 career average finish, very solid. 870 laps led. That's a solid percentage of over 7,000 laps turned. So, yeah, Kyle Larson will be in the mix for sure. He's one of the betting favorites. I feel like Byron is a better value, like I mentioned earlier. But obviously, Kyle Larson, extremely talented, runs well here at Bristol. So, although I will say the 1 win he did have, it was helped because of Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott. That was that year they kept getting into each other here at Bristol and allowed Larson to win. So Larson, this isn't like his best track, but he's solid here. I mean, he runs well everywhere. Joey Logano up next, 27 career starts, 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 10 top 10s, a pole, 766 laps led. The average finish not quite as good as you'd want to think, 16.1, but he's got the results, kind of like Keselowski. I mean, he knows how to run up front here. It's just I'm nervous about Logano because of the way he just hadn't been running up front this year, and he's gotten in wrecks. He's had a terrible start to the year. Needs a good run this week, and Bristol has been kind to him in the past, so maybe this could be a week he bounces back. Michael McDowell, 24 career starts, 2 top 10s, 27.9 average finish. Blah. But with that being said, he finished top 10 here in last year's fall race. Again, it goes back to what have you done for me lately, and even though the career numbers suck, lately, McDowell and front row have been running well, so could be a name to watch, but probably wouldn't bank on him considering his career numbers here are pretty rough. All right, we're almost through with the Cup guys here. Ryan Preece up next, 1 top 10 and 6 Cup starts. Very solid 15.5 average finish. He's a guy that tends to run pretty well at short tracks, so it could be a guy that could sneak a top 15, maybe even top 10 finish. I believe he's a pretty good value for those that like to bet to finish top 10. Although Stewart-Haas Preece has been one of the struggling Stewart-Haas cars this year, so we'll see, but he hadn't had very good results so far this year. Tyler Reddick, a top 5 and a top 10 in 5 career starts here. 18.4 average finish, not bad. I believe he won, though, in the Xfinity Series. I say not bad. For his standards, that's not very good. But, I mean, he's a young driver still. I mean, he should run well this week, but hadn't had quite the speed here that he has had at other tracks. Hadn't led any laps either. So, probably not a smart pick to win, but he's got upside. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he's pretty good here at Bristol. 4 top 5, 7 top 10s, 17.8 average finish, and he hadn't had that great of equipment throughout his career, so those numbers are pretty respectable. He actually might be a good sleeper top 10. I've been kind of sleeping on Ricky Stenhouse. I believe he snuck a top 10 last week. He has quietly become just a dependable. He's what RCR wants Austin Dillon to be. This a guy. Stenhouse is just a very reliable guy that finishes races, man. So shout out to Ricky Stenhouse. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. I mean, he won the Daytona 500 last year, but he's more than just a super speedway racer. He's a respectable guy. I mean, he's not really a threat to win, but as far as getting those solid top 10s, top 15s, he's a decent bet to do that. Who else? We got three more: Suarez, Truex, and Bubba. Suarez, 2 top 10, 6, pretty good average finish, a 16.7. Just, not quite the results you're looking for, but not bad, though. I mean, he's a guy that can do good at short tracks. It's hard to predict Suarez. I feel like sometimes he runs good, other times he's a no-show, but it's off to a good start as the win this year, so he could do decent this week. Martin Truex, his career numbers here are pretty rough. Only 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 33 career starts. Only 287 laps led out of over 15,000 laps run, and a pretty brutal 20.7 average finish. He's done okay here lately, though. He's done better here lately than he did earlier in his career, but still, this isn't one of those tracks. It's kind of like the Chastain thing. Yeah, he's done better lately, but this isn't one of his better tracks. Truex just simply isn't really a short track guy. He's better at the intermediate, so probably not going to have him in any sort of picks this week. And then our last guy, Bubba Wallace, 9 starts, a top 10, 19.9 average finish. He's in pretty solid equipment now, so he could do well. Only 6 laps led, though, struggled last week. 23-11, having a lot of pit road issues, kind of like RCR, so that could hurt him and Reddick, considering that if you have one pit road mistake at Bristol, you're going to probably go 2 laps down. So anyway, that's our Cup Series driver rundown. Let's now briefly look at the Xfinity and trucks for the guys that don't have any Cup data before we turn to the best bets. All right, so Xfinity, who we got here? Josh Berry. Josh Berry, I thought would have better results here at Bristol, but no, 26 average finish. No laps led, only 1 top 10. I get it's only 3 starts, but I thought Josh Berry would have done better here. He's normally thought of as a short track guy, but Bristol, not one of his better tracks. Noah Gragson, though, has good results here at Bristol, and his 6 Xfinity starts, 2 wins, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10, 7.8 average finish. Very good stuff there from Noah Gragson. Only 89 laps. I thought he'd have maybe led a little more, although they don't run as many laps in Xfinity. So, yeah, good stuff from Noah Gragson. He's been running well lately in the Cup Series, so might be in for another strong run this week. Kaz Grala, only 2 starts, 1 top 10. So, yeah, he's in Rick Ware equipment, though, so doubt he'll be able to make much noise. Who else are we looking for? Oh, I forgot about John Hunter Nemechek. Very good. 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 6th average finish. They only 1 lap led, though, despite those very strong results here. I think his teammate Eric Jones in a pretty good spot with Legacy. Nemechek a little behind. First Cup Series season since that run with Front Row back in like 2020, so could have some growing pains. Might be a guy to watch in the fall race as opposed to this year's spring race. And I think that's everybody. Priest has an Xfinity win here. Reddick. So yeah, let's go over to, there's a couple truck guys. There's Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar that only have truck series data. And Carson Hocevar has been running really well. He's been the best of the rookies. And he's got good career numbers here at Bristol. 4 starts, a top 5 and a top 10, 11.5 average finish, 6 laps led. It's very solid. Carson Hocevar been killing it, man. That kid's very talented. He's the kind of guy, he's a little reckless. He's young, but if he can harness his talent, he could be a really good Cup driver. So Carson Hocevar looking like could be a potential rising star. His teammate Zane Smith, though, not so much. Similar career results, though, to Hocevar as far as truck numbers, a top 5, 2 top 10s, 12.5 average finish. Something I thought of about Zane Smith that not many people are talking about, but he might be struggling right out the gate here because that's a brand new team he's with. Hocevar, they weren't good last year as Ty Dillon. They're pretty garbage, but at least they had a team established last year where the 71 with Zane Smith, that's basically an expansion team because BJ McLeod kept his live fast thing to where I don't know where they got parts and stuff from him, but yeah, it's basically an expansion team there for Zane Smith. So yeah, that might explain kind of why he's off to such a bad start in his rookie season. So anyway, yeah, that's the results here at Bristol. Looking at the old school winners here, man. It's funny. When was Bristol formed? 1961. Wow. Jack Smith, the first ever Bristol winner. Good old Fireball Roberts, Junior Johnson. For y'all NASCAR historians out there, some legendary names here on the former Bristol winners list. Wow, Cale Yarborough owned this place. Sheesh, so many wins for him. Then Dale Earnhardt, DW. Yeah, this is the kind of track. Unless you were one of the big dogs, probably weren't going to get the victory lane. So anyway, let's get to our best bets for the week. Let's do it. All right, here, looking at the odds, this week's best bets here. And we'll just pull them up on the screen here on the ticker if I can find it. All right, here we go, y'all. This week's best bets, and as y'all can see, my pick to win is Christopher Bell. You can get him at 6-1 at BetMGM, that is. And so he's my pick to win, y'all. I really like C. Bell this week. I think he's in good position, being that he's led so many laps here throughout his career and doesn't have a win to show for it. But, man, he really impressed me at Phoenix. You know, Toyota's running really good right now. This isn't really a good time to want to buy Toyota from a bettor's perspective, and considering they're so hot right now. I don't have too many other Toyota drivers in my best bets, but as far as a pick to win, I mean, you want to go with someone that's been really good lately and is really fast, and C-Bell checks those boxes, and it's 6-1. I mean, I can't say it's an amazing value, but I feel like he's the guy. I mean, Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin, yeah, they're both really good as well. But to me, Christopher Bell right now has the edge to where he's the guy that I'm going to pick to win. And I think he's going to be our first back-to-back winner of this season. My top three pick there, Brad Keselowski, 4-1. Let's scroll down a little bit here on the odds chart here, as you can see all these names here. Keselowski getting a little slept on, I feel like. Chris Buescher there at 12-1. He's getting a little more love than Keselowski here at DraftKings. This 4-1. This price is only at DraftKings. Other books are giving Keselowski a little more respect. Most books have him with better odds than Chris Buescher. DraftKings, though, seems to like Buescher more. I guess because Buescher's run slightly better than Keselowski here recently, but I think this is a week Keselowski could really bust out, and 14-1 to win is kind of intriguing, but I really like this 4-1 to finish top three, because I think even if he doesn't win, he'll be right there among the leaders. Let's see. I definitely prefer him over Chase Elliott there as the same price. Top five pick, William Byron. Byron up a little more than Keselowski, plus 140 here at DK to finish top five. But at BetMGM, he is plus 220. Really getting slept on over there at MGM. So will he be a guy that I think is going to run well this week? In my pick to win, but it wouldn't shock me if he won. He's 11-1 to win. His price here. He's being respected here at DraftKings. I wouldn't bet on him at DraftKings, but BetMGM is sleeping on him. He's also plus 425 to finish top three at MGM. So you could you could do both, do top three and top five for Willie B. And then if he doesn't finish top three, at least you get him top five. So good value on William Byron over at BetMGM. And then our top 10 play, best top 10 play, Eric Jones. He is plus 165 at, I think it's also MGM. They've been offering a lot of good prices. Here he is plus 145. It's not a whole lot of difference, but I just think Eric Jones is in a good spot this week for those underdogs that could get a top 10 finish. I would definitely take him over any of these other names here, kind of buried on the odds chart. Definitely think Eric Jones in a good position to bounce back. He'll be in a Toyota for the first time since he's with JGR. And when he was with JGR, Bristol was one of his better tracks. So, yeah, I mean, it's a shame that he got booted out of that seat for Christopher Bell. But, I mean, Christopher Bell is just so talented. But Eric Jones is not bad himself, so I think there's some value there at the plus 145 or 165 at BetMGM. All right, the alternate plays. If you don't like these plays, you can go with these. Kyle Larson to win. He's a plus 550 at MGM, or is it FanDuel? One of the two. But I just don't like him as much as Seabell. But I feel like, though, among the power players, I'd probably give him a little edge over Denny Hamlin, because Kyle Larson is just the kind of guy that when he gets up front, it's hard to pass him. And so definitely won't lay that much on him to win. I prefer Christopher Bell, but Kyle Larson's the other powerhouse player, the other power play to win, I'd say. And then as far if you're looking for an underdog, because then you're like, two chalk plays to win, but I want something with some longer odds. If you want something with a little longer odds, y'all, Ty Gibbs, 13-1, I think offers value, because Ty Gibbs has been knocking on the door to where I didn't even think his top 3 and top 5 prizes were worth a damn this week. And I feel like a lot of people have been betting on him, because when they opened, I was like, I might take him to finish top 5. I think he opened it like 2-1, but now he's at freaking like plus 150 now to finish top 5. And that's just, I just don't think that's a value considering how young and inexperienced he is. But he's in great equipment. He's been running really well lately. So he might break through and get his first career cup win this week. So 13-1, I think he would. I think like 12-1, I could see him winning one if they ran this race 12 times. He'd definitely win it at least once. So to me, 13-1 is a pretty good value on him to reach victory lane. Then William Byron, I mentioned him again. The top 3, I felt like that was a good play at plus 425. He's my alternate top 3 play. Then Chris Buescher, got Chris Buescher in here. Thought about making him my top play to finish top 5, plus 240. I think that's really good value. Him and Byron. Those top 5 plays, y'all, BetMGM top 5 values are really, really good. Out of all these things on here, those actually, I thought about just putting Buescher top 5 along with Byron for the best bets, because to me, both of those plays, those might be the ones I put the most on this week. Because I mean, here at DK, Buescher is, let's see, plus 150. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. I mean, if you put $10, you'd win 15. Or if you did this one, you'd win 24. I mean, and if you're betting bigger units, so anyway, I just think Chris Buescher is a good pick this week, considering how good he's been here at Bristol lately. What have he done for me lately? Chris Buescher has won and finished top 3 the past 2 races on the concrete surface. So, finished second last week. Recency is definitely in his favor. Might be a tad bit of recency bias, though, which is why I picked Byron as my best play to finish top 5, because I feel like Buescher's been almost too good here recently, to where it's like you can't do good there every weekend, but I mean, every time you come here, but he definitely has the results on his side. So I will put a little bit on him to crack the top 5. And then Carson Hocevar, y'all, I got to show the rookie some love. 3-1 over at Caesars. Normally Caesars doesn't have that great of prices, but they did this week for Carson Hocevar. 3-1, really getting slept on. I know he hadn't recorded a top 10 yet, but he's been closing. He finished 15th last week at Phoenix. He seems like he's got the most speed by far out of any of the rookies. And he's a young driver, got momentum on his side as we went over the career numbers. He's pretty good in his brief tenure as a NASCAR driver in the Cup Series here at Bristol. So I think he could run well here in a Cup car this Sunday. Could maybe be a good play to finish top 10, because it's like, I mean, he's got to avoid being lapped. Qualifying will be key. That's another thing. This stuff could change, They're putting it out this evening, but just keep an eye on practice and qualifying. All this is subject to change, these best bets. That's why I wanted to focus this episode more on the career numbers, because these are my best bets for now. But, I mean, all that stuff, all this is subject to change. I mean, these numbers always are changing. It's hard to really nailed down, oh, these are the best bets. Because, I mean, the odds makers are always changing this stuff. It's not like they just put them out and that's what they are. So all this is fluid. So take these lightly, don't put the freaking life savings on this stuff. But if you just like to have fun and throw $5 to $10, that's all I'm here for. I'm not a sharp better. I'm not here to advise y'all that want to put hundreds on this stuff. But for those that just like to put a little bit here and there, I enjoy it. I enjoy just having a little bit extra on the line. It makes the race a little more fun to watch, I feel like. So anyway, that's gonna conclude the best bet segment here for Bristol. We'll see how we do. We're off to a good start this year. Got 2 outright winners so far, and then got Christopher Bell to finish top 5 right last week. So good start, good year. It's been a fun year so far through 4 races. We're going to try to have some guests on moving forward. Going to see if we can bring one on next week. Next week will be the Coda race preview. So we'll have more coming up here on Spencer Talks NASCAR. Appreciate all y'all that have been rocking with us. I see the subscriber counts going up a little bit. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Keep subscribing, sharing, liking, all that jazz. Gonna try to get some shorts cut. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do that for the last episode, but hopefully I have some free time this weekend to get those shorts out there. I know y'all like the little short clips from the shows. So that being said, we're going to put a bow on this. This has been Spencer Talks NASCAR. We will see y'all next week. Peace out.